As you recall, I represented Nigeria at the 13th Ministerial Conference of the WTO at Abu Dhabi, and there we discussed a lot of issues. Nigeria participated in a lot of the discussions and negotiations that were ongoing, discussions around fishery subsidies, special public stockholding, special and differential treatment, e-commerce moratorium, international development facility for developing countries, and many other negotiation areas. Well, at the meeting, the World Trade Organization is actually a 166 member organization, and some of the, I think one of them well, the discussions and negotiations are still ongoing, and we were able to secure an extension of the e-commerce moratorium, and also were able to get some extension for agriculture negotiation. So we have a text for agriculture negotiation, and that's actually the first in 16 years. And apart from the MC13, we had a lot of sideline meetings, and one of the most fruitful one was the discussion and the meeting we had with the DG of the WTO, and that culminated in the WTO giving us a lot of support. And just yesterday, the DG of the WTO came to Nigeria to launch the programs of areas of support from the WTO and ITC to the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment in support of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration. One pertinent thing to note at that support is the fact that having gone through the initiatives that we presented for the president's achievement of the president's 8-point agenda, they actually approved a lot of them, and we are very excited to support Nigeria with both technical assistance and financial assistance. In addition to the WTO and ITC supporting, they also mobilized donor agencies like the World Bank and other development agencies, embassies, AFREXIM, AFDB, IFC, all of them were there to support and show that participation. Some of the areas, or there were 7 areas of support that the WTO gave us yesterday. One is on the special trade development, standard trade development facility. The standard trade development facility actually helps to reduce the amount of export rejects, agricultural export rejects. I know a number of you have been asking questions, how do we reduce the amount of rejects coming out from Nigeria especially? This is the second time the WTO will be giving Nigeria that sort of support. What it does is it helps us to improve the standards of the export, and in line with the sanitary and the phytosanitary standards of, the sanitary standards and phytosanitary standard actually speaks to both organic and inorganic residues or contaminants of food products. Organic is where you're talking about weevils and pests, while inorganic is like the chemical components, where you see those chemical components in pesticides and fertilizers and herbicides. So this will help the farmers, train them in how to farm and how to store their products, package it, produce it to standard that will be acceptable to the countries where we're exporting to. The first support we got from WTO on this area was in the area of shea butter. And with that support, the women that were exporting this shea butter saw an increase in their income by about 300%. And so it helped them to remove stones, smell, packaging, making it look nicer. And so it made it more acceptable to the exporting or importing countries. So we're going to see that support coming into cowpea and sesame. Cowpea is more important for us because we have this, it supports the food security agenda of Mr. President. So we're going to see more support for cowpea and sesame. That will increase the amount of exports and hopefully increase the amount of investments that will be going into this area. And when that happens, we'll see more inflow of foreign exchange coming from just this alone. The statistics we have for both cowpea and sesame is over $9 billion worth of trade that happens there from Nigeria alone. So we should see us trapping that sort of amount coming back to Nigeria. Most of those trade are lost because we get to Japan, that's one of the largest importers of sesame, and they're rejecting our sesame because it's not meeting up to their standards. So this is going to help us to remove that impediment and see an increase of inflow coming. And with that, there's more job creation, people go back to farm, they're incentivized, they're happy because they are producing what people are buying. And there's no greater joy in labor or dignity of labor when you're producing what people really want and they're buying it. The second area of support we're getting is in the area of digital trade. The WTO is partnering with World Bank to give us support in digital trade. That includes hardware, that's hard infrastructure, that's the fiber optic connectivity, and soft infrastructure, software platforms, and all of that. This will help us to improve e-commerce trading for MSMEs. You know, the future of trade is digital. And if we can get our MSMEs, our manufacturers and entrepreneurs to sell more through e-commerce platforms, it increases their reach, improves market access, and improves their productivity. We are partnering with the Ministry of Digital Innovation, Digital Economy and Innovation to roll out this. This is actually a $1 billion grant given to, or $1 billion facility by the World Bank given to 9 countries. And the WTO was able to accede to our request to participate in the rollout. The third area of support coming from the WTO is in the area of developing the Trade Intelligence Unit within the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment. The Trade Intelligence Unit is actually a nexus to gather data and information on everything trade, manufacturing, the economy, economic activities are going on in the country, locally and globally. So it helps us to actually harness information, analyze that information, and be able to predict global market trends. When you're able to predict global market trends, it helps you to make informed decisions, formulate policies, and help you to focus on areas of comparative advantage that gives you the opportunity to, to actually scale or develop faster. And that improves our economic diversification and inflow of foreign investment. We're also getting support for cotton development. The cotton belt has witnessed a lot of disinvestment over the years. The support we are getting from the WTO will help the cotton farmers to farm more, farm better quality products, and be able to participate in the sports apparel market. Now, you recall at the WTO MC13 event, the WTO signed an agreement with FIFA to support the cotton countries. So Nigeria is going to participate in that agreement. The cotton apparel is a $270 billion industry. Nigeria participating in that agreement helps the cotton farmers to farm more and improve their income. And of course, create jobs, reduce insecurity in that cotton belt. And so we're really optimistic and looking forward to this. We got support for women entrepreneurship with the development of the Union Women Entrepreneurship Fund. Is a $50 million facility. Nigeria will be participating with other African countries. And it's open to women, especially to improve their entrepreneurship activities and help them to export more. We got support for custom valuation training and for training on trade-related aspects of intellectual property. We're developing our intellectual property and we're going to be reforming that. So this is coming at a very, very auspicious time to support the IP process and the IP laws of Nigeria to improve our investment in non-physical or service-related investment. So all of these supports are coming because they believe in the administration of the president, they believe in his vision, and they said it clearly that the reforms that we're putting out, yes, might take some time, but that's the right way, and that's the right direction of travel. And so all of these supports are coming both technically and financially to give us the boost to make sure that we achieve this. When we get all of this support, the achievement of attaining a 1 trillion economy is within our reach. So we are really excited and very thankful and grateful to the president for his bold leadership and for his direction, and for the WTO and the member and the donor agencies who came together to give us this support. Thank you very much.
3 critical things. As we all know, as a nation, we've made significant progress when it comes to our ability to be able to attract investment into the communication sector, particularly the telecommunications space. Today, Nigeria is probably one of the most attractive markets for telecommunications company on the African continent. We do have some of the biggest players in this space in the country, and we're extremely fortunate that they've also, alongside governments, invested in the critical infrastructure, the backbone that actually drives connectivity within the country. But we also recognize that we've not, there's still a lot to be done in that space. So the three things I'm going to talk about is looking at how we leverage this infrastructure, of course, to drive prosperity, but also to secure our people as well. So the first thing we're doing, which has been pushed by Mr. President, is leveraging existing infrastructure that we have within NIGECOMSAT, which is the satellite company. Most of you know that Nigeria is the only country in West Africa with a satellite, but also leveraging the fiber network of Galaxy Backbone to deploy connectivity to all the 774 local government secretariats. Those who are following that project, which was announced about 2-3 weeks ago, would also see that we've actually started the connectivity. So a number of local government secretariats in Kogi State are now connected. A number in Zamfara are being connected this week, in Imo State are being connected this week. And the next 6 months, our goal is to reach at least 8 of the states within the country to demonstrate the pilot. And the goal is to then take it from there and cover the entire country. We believe that if these local government secretariats are connected, because they're the closest form of government to our people, that we can help them use technology to serve the people better, but also it can enhance security significantly as well. The second thing we're doing, which the president is backed, is actually now investment in extending our backbone for connectivity. Again, what drives connectivity in any country is the fiber optic network. This is the biggest foundation for connectivity. Nigeria is projected to invest in 120 kilometers of fiber optic cable to be able to cover the entire country. At the minute, we're at about 35,000 kilometers, 35,000 kilometers. We've done the numbers working with the best companies in this space. It will cost us less than $1 billion to complete the deployment of fiber optic cable. And the president is giving the go-ahead for us to source fund for that. So we are in the process of setting up a $2 billion fund. I said it costs less than $1 billion. But the reason why we're setting up a $2 billion fund is to use the balance to drive down the cost of connectivity in the country. We want to ensure that all schools are connected, all hospitals in the country that they are connected, and also all government facilities as well. So we're in the process of setting up this fund. We've already received significant interest from the Africa Development Bank, who are looking to put about $200 million into this. We're in extensive and deep conversation with the World Bank on this as well. The model we're taking, which is we're using the special purpose vehicle, is to actually also crowd in investment from the private sector to be able to deploy the fiber optic network that we want to deploy in the country. And I think lastly is to actually also speak to the work that we've been doing with Ministry of Defense. So we are in conversation with the Ministry of Defense to see how we can use enhanced satellite capabilities to help our security agencies to be able to do their work better. I can't give much details on that until we're in an advanced stage where we can begin to share what can be shared to the public. But this is something that the government is looking deeply into, and we're making significant progress on it as well. Thank you.